Friends, after the match, the Sri Lankan players demanded the ICC to ban Vaibhav. On this, Jay Shah announced the decision, made a disclosure regarding and gave a big statement. Yes, to know the full story, make sure to watch the video till the end. And if you are also happy with Team India's batting, then definitely write Team India's storm in the comments. And don't forget to like the video at all. Friends, talking about the match, batting first at the Rangiri International Stadium in Dambulla, India A set a challenging score of 265 runs thanks to Suryansh Shedge's brilliant 72 runs and Vipraj Nigam's solid 51 runs. In response, the Sri Lanka team also fought tremendously, and riding on Sadeera Samarawickrama's splendid knock of 93 runs, took the match to the very last ball. But the real story begins from here. On the final ball, Sri Lanka needed 2 runs to win and 1 run to tie the match. Arshad Khan was bowling from India's side, and Chamika Gunasekera was facing him. Arshad bowled a brilliant Yorker-length delivery that went straight and hit the batsman's pad. Chamika couldn't connect his bat with the ball, and the ball went past after tricking the wicketkeeper, Kumar Kusagra. Right then, the Sri Lankan batsman ran for a run. The wicketkeeper ran quickly behind the ball and threw it towards the striker's end. Arshad Khan dislodged the bails, and while trying to take the second run, Chamika Gunasekera got run out. But by then, Sri Lanka had completed the first run. This is exactly where the real chaos started. The on-field umpire, Ghazi Sohail, considered that leg-by run valid and declared the match a tie. As soon as this decision of the umpire came, the Indian players burst out in anger. First of all, Captain Tilak Varma approached the umpire. His point was that the batsman did not even try to play a shot on the ball, so the leg-by run could not be given. Tilak was continuously demanding to see the replay and claimed that according to the rules, India had won this match. Meanwhile, young batsman Vaibhav Suryavanshi couldn't control himself. He too started expressing his displeasure over the umpire's decision. The cameras present on the field captured his anger, and in no time, this video went viral on social media. On the other hand, umpire Ghazi Sohail stuck to his decision. He asked the Indian players to remain calm, but Tilak Varma and Vaibhav Suryavanshi continuously kept presenting their point. The atmosphere became so heated that Sri Lanka A's captain, Sahan Arachke, and his fellow players all were there to intervene. But instead of calming the matter down, this worsened it even more. The Indian players were saying that injustice had been done to them, while the Sri Lankan players were calling the umpire's decision correct. In no time, the players of both teams came face to face. A heated argument started right in the middle of the ground, and the atmosphere became completely tense. Both on-field umpires discussed among themselves for a long time, but in the end, they did not change their decision and officially declared the match a tie. The Indian players returned to the dugout with anger and disappointment. After this, the decision of the match was made through a super over. But in the super over, India A had to face defeat and Sri Lanka A achieved victory. However, the story didn't end there. Immediately after the defeat in the super over, the atmosphere on the field heated up once again. First of all, Suryansh Shedge was in a heated argument with some Sri Lankan players. A war of words started on both sides, and the matter began to escalate rapidly. During this, Vaibhav Suryavanshi also jumped into this dispute. Vaibhav, looking furious, got very close to a Sri Lankan player. It appeared on the TV cameras that a shoving situation developed between the two players. After this, the players of both teams started moving quickly towards each other. For a few seconds, it felt like the matter would completely go out of hand. The tension on the field was at its peak. The players of both teams were standing face to face and arguing continuously. However, the senior players and support staff of both teams intervened, and after a lot of effort, the situation was calmed down. Following this dispute, the Sri Lankan players demanded action against Vaibhav Suryavanshi from the ICC. The Sri Lankan players stated that whatever happened on the field, the biggest mistake was Vaibhav's. They said, "We understand that players get emotional, but that doesn't mean they lose their cool on the field." The way Vaibhav argued with the players and showed aggressive behavior in anger was absolutely not right. The Sri Lankan players further added, "Cricket is a gentleman's game. There can be aggression here, but there is no place for violence or shoving. If a player cannot control his emotions on the field, action should be taken against him according to the rules. We want the ICC to look into this matter seriously, so that in the future, no player dares to behave like this. They said this is not just a matter of one player, but a question of the dignity of the game, and the decorum of cricket must be maintained under any circumstances. Meanwhile, now expressing his view on the entire matter, ICC Chairman Jay Shah fiercely reprimanded the Sri Lankan players. Jay Shah said, "First of all, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. Vaibhav Suryavanshi does not deserve a ban in any way. Targeting a single player and putting all the blame on his head is completely wrong." Jay Shah said, "I have seen the report of the entire matter. I have watched the videos and have also spoken to many people. I'm not saying that what happened on the field was right. Cricket players should maintain restraint and keep up the decorum of the game. But to say that it was only Vaibhav's fault is a completely wrong and one-sided mindset. Players from both teams were involved on the field, and emotions were running high on both sides." He further added, "Prima facie, if this whole matter is looked at, it seems to me that the Sri Lankan players appeared more aggressive. But unfortunately, only Vaibhav is being targeted on social media. Why, after all? Just because he is 15 years old? Just because he is young and currently making his identity? This is absolutely not right." Jay Shah said, "We must not forget that Vaibhav is currently just a 15-year-old player. At such a young age, he is playing for his country. He is carrying the burden of expectations of millions of people. On the final ball, when he felt that injustice had been done to his team, it is not unusual for him to become emotional. I'm not saying that showing anger on the field is a good thing, but understanding that situation is equally important." He further added, "Just think, if you are playing for your country, the match has reached the final ball, and you feel that the decision went against you, will you be able to stay completely calm? Probably not. Every player is different and every player reacts in their own way. What Vaibhav did with his emotions, he guided, not punished." Jay Shah said, "Cricket is not just a game of rules, but also a game of emotions. We have seen big players getting angry on the field. Many great players have argued with the umpire. Disputes have happened many times, but we have always tried to reform them, not finish them. Therefore, I want to say clearly that talking about banning Vaibhav is completely wrong." Jay Shah said Vaibhav Suryavanshi is a special talent. The cricket he's played at such a young age is wonderful. Such players are not born often. We should boost the morale of such players. If they make a mistake, guide them, teach them, but do scare them. Jay Shah said, "Even if any disciplinary action takes place in this matter, it will be done by looking at both sides. In cricket, rules are equal for everyone. If any player violates the decorum, action can be taken against him under the rules. But I will say again that talking about things like a ban would be very hasty. Action like the maximum fine or a warning can be considered. But putting such a big spot on a young player's career would be advice to the Sri Lankan players. There should be competition. But must not forget we all are representatives of the same team. A young player carried away by emotions, the job of seniors is not to provoke him any further, but to guide him.